Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're sort of discussing the overall situation here. And the question, sort of the statement, the thesis, if you will, is let's not take things two steps backwards. And I started thinking of this when I, was thinking about things were looking great in mid-December, and even though, and I made videos on this, we saw the test and go scheme sort of suspended, and we also saw the situation where when they met at the beginning of that month, they said, look, we're going to keep entertainment venues closed until middle of January at the earliest. My position at the time was, okay, even on the rescission of test and go, which I noted, I think there's going to be serious, substantial negative ramifications associated with that. Whatever, leaving that aside, things still seem to be progressing with forward momentum. We're moving. I thought we were moving past this. I think we still are. But the reason for this video is I've talked to people, and there's all these rumors swirling around that think there's going to be a big clamp down and this and that. I'm begging anybody that's listening, if there's anybody listening that is really looking at this and has any kind of policy executive sort of function with respect to this, please seriously examine the data. I'm not going to get into that on here. It's not really my place to get into that in this channel. But I have watched over almost 2 years now. Let's think that through. We're now a quarter shy of 2 years of this. Massive economic devastation. Huge swaths of the economy just knocked out. I was reading an article the other day where, in fact, I think I can cite it. I wasn't really intending to cite anything in this video, but a recent article from Bangkok Post, bangkokpost.com, article is titled "A Bad Case of Deja Vu for Thai Tourism," quoting directly, the tourism industry, which contributed up to 20% of GDP during boom years. And I think that's kind of a bad way to put it, during boom years. No, during pre-March 2020 years. Quoting further, plummeted to 1.79% of GDP during the first half of 2021. 20% down to 1.79%. So to say that it has taken its economic toll is an understatement. Again, the point of this video, and I don't really like making these videos, honestly. I would kind of prefer to go back to talking about boring stuff like, mortgages on Thai properties, or, transaction fees on Thai properties, or, K-1 fiance visas, whatever. It got to the point to me where I was looking at this and, you can't even do hardly any legal analysis at this point, because this is just subsuming everything. This whole topic, this shutdowns, lockdowns, ongoing this, blah, 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 blah. And then people, at the end of the day, the legal sector is very much it's symbiotic in a way with the business sector and the banking and financial sectors. If these sectors are not functioning, there is no legal business. I remember my father once telling me, also, he was an attorney at one point, that when Walmart came in small town America, middle America, where I'm from in Kansas, when Walmart came in and knocked out the merchant class, a lot of the lawyers went with it. And similarly to the situation we're in, where you knock out all of the SME actors and you just essentially you kick out the pillars of the economy, and there's effectively no running economy. Well, there's not going to be any legal service going on. There's not going to be much of anything going on with respect to legal work, because there is no economy. You have to have an economy. You have to have people doing business for lawyers to be able to help facilitate that. So that's kind of the reason for the videos. And I'm praying, I'm hoping, we're supposedly having an upcoming, another one of these meetings of the CCSA, which I don't know at what point we all decided that this is, the touchstone where everything's decided on how we're going to live in 2-week increments or 1-month increments at any given time. But setting that aside, please, I'm hopeful, I'm praying that those who are making these decisions will look at this data, because the data seems to me that this current iteration, whatever you want to call it, is far more innocuous than everything else. And frankly, and I've said this since I started looking at it, if we were looking at this data back in March of 2020, would we have done any of this? And if the answer to that is no, then should we be doing anything now? Or should we just be moving forward, living with this, and getting on with our lives and doing business here in the Kingdom of Thailand?